Coming up next on Newswatch.
Our election coverage begins, and we're looking at marijuana law reforms across the region, plus an explanation of the regulations proposed by Issue 3.
And in sports, an Ohio University alumnus finished strong in the New York City Marathon. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Election day is tomorrow, and the legalization of recreational marijuana is on the ballot. Good evening, I'm Catherine Blaine. Thanks for joining us. Issue 3 deals with the legalization of recreational marijuana, but considering the regulations attached to the issue, will marijuana supporters still vote yes? WOUB's Josh Gregory talked to those affected and those in charge.
States across the country have measures on the ballot seeking to reform marijuana laws. In Ohio, that measure is Issue 3, the Ohio Cannabis Rights Act. It would change Ohio's constitution to allow for a legal marijuana industry. Over the past few months, pro-Issue 3 group Responsible Ohio's Green Rush bus tour has traveled to a number of Ohio colleges in all 88 Ohio counties to drum up support for the measure. WOUB talked to organizer Michael McGovern when the tour came to Ohio University.
We did a lot of research to figure out what the best way to go about this is, both in terms of having really strict regulation to make sure you're getting quality products and things going to be well run and safely run here in Ohio, but also making sure we're doing it in such a way that we avoid any problems with the federal government, since it still is illegal at the federal level.
Issue 3 would legalize the sale of recreational and medical marijuana to adults 21 and over. Legalizing marijuana is already a controversial issue, but Issue 3 is drawing opposition from unexpected sources. Eleanor Ahrens is president and founder of the Southeast Ohio branch of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. She's an advocate for legalizing medical marijuana, but she opposes Issue 3.
I don't have any confidence in the decision-making process that the people for Issue 3 would have to provide. They aren't doctors, they don't know anything about medical conditions. There's certain strains of certain weeds that are good for cancer, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and they don't know all these things.
While Issue 3 would legalize the sale of marijuana, critics say the authors of the measure are creating a monopoly on marijuana production by only allowing 10 predetermined grow sites, none of them located in Southeast Ohio, essentially pushing out growers in that area that have been producing marijuana for years. Joe Brumfield, secretary of NORML, says those who drafted the issue tried to get around some critics by implementing the home grow provisions, allowing a person to possess 8 ounces of pot, 4 flowering plants, and 1 ounce of concentrate.
I have muscular dystrophy. There are people who have cancer, there are people who have, and they need concentrates of these medicines. 8 ounces is nothing.
But Responsible Ohio's executive director, Ian James, says limits and regulations are necessary.
You gotta have regulation. And the $50 permit fee to grow your own marijuana in a secure way, away from anybody under 21, out of public view, that's not that big a step. People that are in favor of legalization, but not in favor of Issue 3, oftentimes want no regulation. They think that we should be just like Colorado. Well, Colorado has unlimited number of licenses. Guess what happens? When you have unlimited numbers of licenses, the state can't properly regulate the industry.
For WOUB News, I'm Josh Gregory.
If Issue 3 passes, a monopoly may take hold of the marijuana industry. The state legislature has introduced Issue 2 as an anti-monopoly amendment meant to supersede Issue 3. And there's also a potential new law in Logan to reduce the penalties for a misdemeanor marijuana possession. WOUB reporter Sean Neidig talked to organization leaders about the issue.
In addition to State Issue 3, there is a local initiative on the Logan ballot this year that would reduce the penalties for all misdemeanor marijuana offenses to a $10 fine.
It's a city initiative. It's not totally different from a state, which can be done within a city. We took their idea and went to an attorney and drafted the language so it didn't conflict with any state laws.
NORML operates under the slogan of decriminalize, don't legalize, and supports the reduction of penalties because they feel it would allow police to work on higher priority issues, and in addition to that, Keeney says the penalties are too harsh anyway.
Well, we feel that, the punishment don't fit the crime. It's time to and it's going on across the country, but we feel that this is something we can do locally, that we can reduce the penalties for the crimes where they fit.
The reduced penalties will only have a real impact if Issue 3 fails, but there is still a desire to have the new law just in case.
Well, state law trumps municipality laws, but each city is granted certain amounts of home rule, which they're allowed to. They really can't change the law, but they can reduce the penalties, and that's what we've done.
Thanks, Sean. For more on that story, head over to woub.org. And voters in Gallia County will decide if they want to raise taxes to pay for the relocation of the Gallia County Fairgrounds. The increases would cost the average family around $25 a year. The money will help in moving the fairgrounds from its current position in a floodplain. Dozens of events have been canceled in the past due to the flooding. The project to relocate the fairgrounds will cost more than $9 million. Gallia County Fair Board volunteer Jody Penrod says the relocation will not only benefit the children, but will also bring more jobs to Gallia community.
We did a feasibility study with a consulting firm a few months ago, and if we had this year-round facility, we could generate $6.5 million more in spending in Gallia County, which would equate to about 50-some additional jobs for our area.
Fair organizers say they are not certain the fair will continue if the relocation doesn't win the votes. And Fairless Local School District in Tuscarawas County is pushing the community to vote yes for Issue 33. The issue is a substitute for an existing levy to provide revenue necessary to operate the school district, including emergency requirements. The substitute levy will generate $1.7 million annually. The issue is not a new levy and will expire at the end of 2016. And here for the rest of WOUB's election coverage, make sure to tune into our election special tomorrow night at 11 right here on WOUB, and also go over to woub.org for continuous election coverage. And here in Athens, the streets are now clean after the Halloween block party, but some partiers' records not so much. This weekend, both the Athens Police Department and the Ohio University Police made 113 arrests. OUPD made 2 felony arrests for cocaine possession and marijuana trafficking. Athens EMS responded to 43 calls. 24 of those resulted in transports to Oblenis Memorial Hospital. In a release, Deputy Service Safety Director and Public Information Officer Ron Lucas said the block party ended at 2:20 Sunday morning and streets were opened at 5:30. An Ohio University chapter of Acacia Fraternity has been directed to cease and desist from any further organizational activity pending an ongoing university investigation. The university says the fraternity has not been suspended. The fraternity is being investigated after an offensive 7-second video appeared last week on Twitter. It shows the men singing a sexually explicit song on the front porch of a sorority house. No word on if the university will take further action.
Well, it started out as a foggy morning, but that quickly cleared up and we had a nice sunny day out there today. Good evening and welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now in Athens, it's 59 degrees. We have partly cloudy skies with winds east-southeast at 2 miles per hour. Now, around the region, temperatures in the lower 60s to upper 50s, 61 in Columbus, 60 in Cambridge, 59 in New Martinsville, as well as in Chillicothe, and 61 in Jackson. Now, overnight tonight, not much to worry about. We're going to mostly clear skies, 57 degrees at 8 p.m. Then by midnight, 52 degrees. Then by tomorrow morning, mostly sunny skies with 48 degrees, so a little bit chilly in the morning, so make sure you have a coat. But those temperatures do, excuse me, look to be warming up as we're heading into the afternoon hours. I'll have more about that in my extended forecast. Catherine?
All right, well, thanks a lot, Allison. I look forward to hearing from you then. And after the break, we'll be showing you an inside look at those who lost their lives in the Russian plane crash last week. That story and more when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
NASA and its global partners are celebrating the 15th anniversary of continuous residency at the International Space Station. The current 6 men aboard the space station are also celebrating. The first permanent crew moved into the space station on November 2nd, 2000. Since then, over 200 people from 17 different countries have lived in it. The space station has also grown from having 3 rooms to 13. And as investigators begin to piece together the cause of the Metrojet crash, we focus on the many children lost in the disaster. The youngest was just 10 months old. And a heart-wrenching photo of little Darina Gramova was posted just before the family left for their Egyptian holiday. It has become the defining image of the tragedy. CNN's Nick Robertson has the story of the littlest victims.
Russia is in shock. So many tears. So many victims, so many of them children. The youngest 10-month-old Darina Gramova. She was on holiday with her parents, Tatiana and Alexei. 25 children died. At this makeshift memorial, parents count their blessings, a day to hold their children closer. Vladimir hugs his son Alexander as he tells us it's a horror, it's a tragedy to lose so many children. We understand, but we can never feel the pain of their families. 7-year-old Olga came to pay her respects. Luckily, we didn't lose anyone, she tells us. I just wanted those children to be remembered. Her favorite toy, adding to the deep carpet of cuddly childhood treasures. Overnight, at a rally for victims, hundreds spelt out the word mum in recognition of the children and parents lost, of many orphans left behind. Russia's soul has been laid bare. Few pause without weeping. Oksana stopped by on her way to work. I'm a Russian, and we need to say what has happened, she tells us, and we need to explain it to our kids. Today, Russians came looking for answers, found only pain. Nick Robertson, CNN, St. Petersburg, Russia.
Thanks, Nick. The Commerce Department says U.S. construction spending rose 0.6% in September. That's the highest it's been since March of 2008. Spending on construction rose to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of just over $1 trillion. Construction of apartments and condominiums jumped 4.9% in September from August, while construction of single-family homes rose 1.3%. And on Wall Street today, U.S. stocks closed higher by nearly 1%. Here's a look at stocks of local interest.
Well, temperatures are warming up and conditions are going to be dry for the rest of the week. I'll have that in your extended forecast next on Newswatch.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're in giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now in Athens, it's 59 degrees. We have partly cloudy skies out there and that sun already set because of a time change that we had over the weekend. Winds east-southeast at 2 miles per hour. Now looking around the region, temperatures are in the lower 60s to upper 50s. 60 in New Lexington, 61 in Newark, 60 in Ripley, as well as in Ironton. Now, our almanac today is showing we were pretty much right on target for our average temperatures. 68 was our high, our low was 41 this morning. Now, our precipcast for overnight is showing that we don't have much going on. We have high pressure over the region. That's what's giving us those dry conditions that we felt today, and also, it's going to be giving us some warmer temperatures as we head into tomorrow as that high pressure stays in effect, and it's going to continue to remain in effect for tomorrow night. Not much to expect as we go through this week until the weekend, where there might be a possible chance for some rain showers. Now, overnight tonight, temperatures dropping into the mid to low 40s. We have 42 in New Lexington, 44 in Athens, 46 in Jackson, 49 in Ironton, with mostly clear skies across the region overnight tonight. Now tomorrow, temperatures warming up a lot warmer than we should be feeling for this time of year. Temperatures in the low 70s, 72 in Newark, 71 in New Lexington, 72 in Chillicothe, a little bit warmer as we head south, 74 in Ironton, with mostly sunny skies throughout the day tomorrow. So it looks to be a nice day. So if you want to head out, this will be the week to do it. Temperatures staying nice and warm for us this week. Now overnight tonight again, 44 degrees for our low, with mostly clear skies and then calm winds throughout the night tomorrow. Or tomorrow morning at the bus stop, clear skies in the morning with it will be chilly in the morning, so make sure you bring that jacket as you make your commute, and especially for the little ones as they head off to the bus stop. But then warming up to 72, so by the afternoon you won't need that jacket anymore. Sunny skies and winds east 0 to 5 miles per hour. Now, looking at your extended forecast, temperatures in the 70s for the rest of the week, with only a slight chance of rain for Friday, but then dropping into the 50s for the weekend. Catherine?
All All right, Allison, thanks a lot. And drones are a common sight now, but just a few years ago, the term had a very different meaning. It usually meant military drones launching airstrikes. Over the past 10 years, drones with cameras are now on the verge of being a staple for not only consumers, but businesses as well.
They've given us new perspectives on disaster zones and breathtaking shots of tourist destinations. The rise of consumer drones is bringing us remarkable new ways to see the world. How did drone technology take off so quickly? Well, it turns out the answer is in your pocket, the smartphone.
Because smartphone technology is moving so fast, and because the same sensors and chips and cameras that are in smartphones drive drones, the drone industry was able to draft behind the smartphone industry and benefit from the fastest progression of Moore's Law the world's ever seen.
This is a global revolution. The market leader is a Chinese company, DJI, and the uptake in consumer drones is driving commercial uses. Amazon is one of a number of companies that want to use them to deliver packages. And CNN has joined a trial program to help U.S. authorities form rules about how companies can use drones. But as the potential uses grow, so do the worries. A drone carrying a message of protest landed on the Japanese Prime Minister's residence and one crashed into the White House lawn. Security concerns prompting authorities in the U.S. to call for a drone registry. Critics say it's not enough.
So there's a first good point of getting to know where the pilot is and who the pilot is, but surely it's not enough. It does not protect anything. For that you need a little bit more, because the bad guys certainly will not certify their drones and will not have them registered.
Whether they're flown by bad guys, big companies, or your next-door neighbor, drones are an increasingly common sight in our skies. Christy Bustout, CNN, Hong Kong.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Christy. And now let's throw it over to Andrew Homan for a look at our sports.
I am Andrew Homan, and up next in sports, the OHSAA released playoff pairings for soccer and volleyball today. And the Ohio field hockey team took on arch-rival Miami Saturday in the Bobcats' final match of the regular season. It's all up next on Newswatch. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
My granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back. I'm Andrew Homan. Ohio volleyball split its two matchups over the weekend with a loss to Miami Friday night in Oxford, but picked up its 20th win of the season after defeating Bowling Green on Saturday. The win ended the Bobcats' first 2-game losing streak of the season. The victory over Bowling Green also ended a 6-set losing streak. Ohio hopes to keep its momentum as they face Kent State on Thursday at the Convo, a team they beat 3-0 earlier in the season. It was senior night for Ohio field hockey on Saturday, but a 3-0 loss to arch-rival Miami spoiled the festivities. The Bobcats finished their regular season with an overall record of 8-9 and a conference record of 3-3. Ohio has now lost 3 in a row and will face Kent State on Friday in the first round of the MAC tournament. The Cats lost to Kent State 2-1 earlier in the season. And the Ohio swim and dive team is now 0-3 after a 167-133 loss last Friday at Akron, the reigning MAC champions. The 34-point loss did bring some positives for the Cats. Junior Laura Dawson continued her dominance of the competition, winning 3 events, and freshman Anna Henderson won 2 events for the first time in her career as a Bobcat. Both the men's and women's Ohio cross-country teams ran in the MAC championships Saturday. Junior Ellen Isaac finished 8th overall in the 5K with a time of 21 minutes, 19 seconds. Her performance earned her second team All-MAC honors and helped the women's team to a 5th place finish. As for the men, Alex Wind was the top Bobcat finisher, coming in at 15th. The men's team finished 8th overall. Both cross-country teams now prepare for the NCAA Regional, which is November 13th in Madison, Wisconsin. More than 50,000 runners participated in the New York City Marathon Sunday morning, and one former Bobcat stood out in the crowd. Craig Leon, a former Ohio cross-country runner who graduated in 2007, was one of 2 Americans to finish in the top 10. Leon finished in 8th place, crossing 26.2 miles in 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 16 seconds. The Kansas City Royals were crowned champions of the Baseball World Sunday night for the first time since 1985. The Royals clinched the title after defeating the Mets 7-2 in New York. The Royals scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th to force extra innings and later scored 5 runs in the top of the 12th to seal the victory. From the 7th inning on, the Royals outscored the Mets 15-1 in the 5-game series. The OHSAA released playoff pairings for soccer, volleyball, and cross country today, and several local teams have big games to look forward to this week. We'll start with girls soccer, where 3 local teams will play in the postseason. In Division III, Region 11, Alexander takes on Bishop Rosencrantz at Zanesville High School. In Division II, Region 7, Grantsville plays Chillicothe at Bloom Carroll, and in that same region, Tri-Valley faces off with Minerva at Dover. All 3 of those games begin Tuesday night at 7. Two local boys soccer teams will play this week. In Division II, Region 7, St. Francis de Sales plays an undefeated Athens squad at Bloom Carroll High School Wednesday night at 7. And in Division III, Region 11, Alex will play Grandview Heights at Logan Wednesday night at 6. Finally, let's switch over to volleyball. In Division III, Region 11, Williamsport Westfall takes on Alex at Logan Wednesday night at 7:30. In Division IV, Region 15, Reedsville Eastern plays Waterford Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Lancaster High School. And in Division II, Region 8, Eden plays Athens at Butler Thursday night at 6, and then following that game, Sugar Grove plays Lancaster Fisher Catholic at 7:30 in the same building. I'm Andrew Homan, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Catherine.
Well, tonight 44 degrees for our low with mostly clear skies and calm winds. Now tomorrow warming up to 72 degrees with sunny skies, a lot warmer than we've been feeling the past couple days. Your extended forecast temperatures in the 70s. For most of the week, there is a slight chance of rain for Friday, then dropping back to the 50s for the weekend. Catherine?
Well, thanks a lot, Allison. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Catherine Blaine. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime you need at WOUB.org. And as always, have a great night.
Decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.